Hello everyone, it's the Rich Spirit channel. My name is Krasimir Panayotov, and in this quick video guys I will share with you my views, my analysis on some of the most traded pairs, as well as gold, some secondary pairs, Nasdaq 100, the US 30 pair. So let's get started guys, and let's check out first the Euro USD as one of the most important pairs on the market. Let's start with it. What you can see the last week happened is this rise to the upside, breaking this important level of resistance on the daily chart. Now on the 4-hour chart we had a nice breakout out of the resistance zone, then a pullback to retest the daily resistance. Let me zoom out a little bit more so you can see how it acted multiple times as a support, then became resistance for the price, and now again turning to support. And I want to share with you how I took a buy trade on this pair. On the retest we had this beautiful pin bar, which is a buy signal. It was on the support zone. We had some consolidation before it, so it was a good time to place a buy, and I took a buy a little bit later on the third candle. So I set my stop loss here below this previous low and target profit on the previous highs over here, but the price of course can easily break it and go to the next daily resistance zone, and this is what I expect to happen. Also you can see that there is a new channel forming. The price is bouncing between these trend lines. So now what I personally expect is some sort of correction of the price to this previous high or to this support zone, and from there we to see another push to the upside. Or of course, if we have some massive news event that will push the price lower, we can look for target the previous support zone, but I still remain bullish on this market. Now let's move to the GBPUSD, and we can see the same picture on the daily chart. We broke above very important daily support and resistance levels, and we created also this head and shoulders pattern with the left shoulder here, with the head right here, and the right shoulder here. So what we personally expect after a break above the neckline, which is this line over here, we expect a move as big as is the head of the head and shoulders. So we can expect a move to the next daily resistance level, and this is what. So there are a lot of opportunities for this week, but also be aware of traps which the big banks, the big institutions are making for us. So I will keep this neckline here so we can see. Very possible is we to see some sort of retest to the neckline, and only then the price to shoot up to the upside, and this happens in about 61% of the cases when we're having the head and shoulders pattern. Now let's go back in time and see that if we break this daily support and the price breaks to these previous lows, we can expect a retest to the resistance, and from there push down to the lower support zones. So this is all for this pair, the GBPUSD pair. Let's move now to the, let's say gold, because I was trading this pair not so long time ago. Now you also see here that we broke again an important daily support and resistance level. Now since the resistance is broken, it turns support for a price, so we can see a push back to the support zone, and from there another bullish movement to the upside. Of course this is just a possible scenario, you trade on your own rules, on your own strategy. Now what you can see on the 4-hour chart is exactly what have happened. We first broke this important wedge pattern which pushed the price to this level of support right here. You can see that it was resistance in the past, now turned to support, and after short consolidation we had a push to the upside together with the euro. So when euro is rising, usually all other pairs against the USD are also rising. So this is what we have seen here, breaking these highs over here, now reaching this trend line, which will also act as a resistance. Also on the euro, I want to mention that this trend line will also act like a little resistance for the price. And as you can see here, we have some highs and lows, which are also kind of resistance for the price. So from here we can see a correction to the downside. So this is pretty much my prediction for the gold. If we break strongly this level of support, we can head down to these previous lows or to the previous daily support zone. If we break it, the next important zone is the 1820 or 1818 zone area. Let me show you on the daily chart right here. And after that, even more better support is around 1790. Okay, now let's move to the next one, and what we see here is the AUDUSD, and this is great pair which have broken another important 4-hour or daily level. Looking right here, after the break of this level we expect a retest and another push to the upside to the previous daily weekly resistance level. Of course, the price can just continue the up movement to the resistance, or of course we can also see some pullback to the support once again, and from here we can see another push to the upside. Okay guys, this is really quickly all about this pair. Now let's move to the next one, and what I see on my list is the New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. This pair is very nice with that we have a bounce from the daily support zone. We are now on the daily chart, and you can see this strong engulfing bullish candle, which is a buy signal for me. I took a buy trade much earlier on the 4-hour engulfing, looking back here. So I took a buy from here. I set a stop loss below these lows, below the candles, and one of my profits I already took here, but better targets, and I let my trade go, is this target on the previous highs over here or over here, or the next daily resistance zone, which is back here around 1890.890,907 or just 89,100. So this is a possible target areas for the price, guys. So if you are holding buy trade or you want to buy this pair, you can take these targets as a profit target. Now I want to share with you why I don't trade this pair bearish with the head and shoulders pattern, because we're in a very strong daily, maybe even weekly support and resistance level. If you can see, this is the weekly chart, and what you can see is that the price is at very important support zone, and in this case, if we have a bounce, we have such strong daily engulfing candle, then it means that this head and shoulders probably will fail. Well, I would say another thing, if the head and shoulders was somewhere here at the resistance, or somewhere here inverted on the support, and we were bullish on this, but this head and shoulders is between the two zones, the two daily support and resistance zones. That's why I wouldn't take this head and shoulders pattern. If it was somewhere here, for example, it was formed here, I could take it over here with the head and shoulders pattern targeting the size of the head from the breakout point. But guys, in this case I remain bullish. Okay guys, this is what I personally expect. I also want to share with you some weekly analysis. Now what we have seen here is very nice W pattern. Let me draw it for you. Here we have one bottom and a second bottom, which after the breakout of the neckline is here, we usually make a retest of the neckline. And because here the neckline was above the support level, the price even went a little bit lower to the support zone. And from the support, now I expect a push move, maybe even to these previous highs, which is the next resistance zone. If you can see, it was multiple times support and resistance in the past. Okay guys, this is really all for this pair. Let me just mark the important levels, and that's all for now. Let's move now to the next one, and it is the Nasdaq 100. And as you can see here, a lot of people expected to see a head and shoulders pattern playing to the downside. Maybe the new traders, maybe the not so experienced traders, and I also felt for that. I expected the price to push to the downside, probably to these lows over here, but this thing didn't happen. Why? Because this drop, let me mark just the head and shoulders for you. This is the neckline. So this strong 4-hour bearish candle was just a reaction on the news. It wasn't a really powerful sell signal. This was just a news movement which was very quickly corrected, and I fall for that move, and I've lost some money on this trade shorting this pair. But what is more important now, that if we see the bigger picture, we have a much better head and shoulders pattern on the higher time frame. So as you can see here, we have the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Very beautiful formed pattern, and what we can see is a pullback to the support zone from here and push all the way up to these previous highs over here, and this will be exactly as much as is the size of the head and shoulders. So this is a very nice opportunity also for the head and shoulders traders, for the formation pattern traders, and we can look for profits somewhere around this zone over here. And this is what I will do, of course, if the dollar continue to be weak, if we see the rally continues next week. Now let me clean the chart and let me move to another one. Of course guys, everything is possible, and this can be just a fake breakout and we to see a push down to the previous support zone. Now let's move to the EURJPY and really quickly check this pair. Here we have some this is the daily chart. We broke above the daily support zone, and now what we can see is on the 4-hour this wedge pattern, which if get broken from the downside, we can see a push to the previous support zone back here. But if this trend continues, we can see some pullback and another push to the upside, then another correction, and this can go on up to the next daily resistance level. This is very likely to happen if the euro continue being so strong against other currencies. Now let's move to the USDJPY and see what's going on there. And what we can see is short consolidation around these trend lines and support zones. Now what I expect is pull back to the support zone, and maybe only from there we can see some push to the upside, or of course the price can continue even lower to test these previous lows over here. So here we can draw one mini support level, like I love to call it. We can see a push to the downside, and only from there, if the USD gets some serious strength, we can see a push to the upper resistances. Of course, the price can just recover and reach the next resistance in any time. you just have to check out the lower time frames, and if here is some good bullish engulfing candle or some pin bars, which is a sign for a reversal of the price, you can take a buy trade. But I personally will not trade this pair. Okay guys, let's move to the next one, and this is the GBPJPY pair. Really beautiful pair. I have just seen the weekly candles and they look so beautiful. We have these very nice pin bars working again and again in the past, looking back here, and after this pin bar we had a nice push to the upside. Now on the daily chart you can see we're exactly like in the previous analysis. I have said that we can continue bullish to the previous resistance zone on the daily and the weekly chart, and this is exactly what have happened after some short correction. We had another new push to the upside, and now you can see guys that if we draw the Fibonacci level, looking like here, we are exactly at the 50%. So after reaching the 61% or even still from the 50, we can see some serious push back to the downside to this previous low over here, or even to the daily support zone. But if we continue with this bullish move, we can easily reach this trend line, which is a very great resistance zone, and from there we can look for a short opportunity. So now, usually after break of such channel, we can expect a retest like is happening now, and only from there we to see another push to the downside with a lower low, creating a new trending channel, something looking like this. You can imagine it, right? Then another correction to this resistance and another push to the downside. This happens over and over, guys, so always think a few turns ahead. So imagine what can happen in the market. Okay guys, this is about GBPJPY, the 4-hour chart, the daily chart, and let's move to the USD CAD and see how we are close to a support zone. So we can see some push from here, and then we can look for another buy signals and buy opportunities to the upside. And here guys, if you can see, if we go to this resistance and if we break it, we will have a nice double bottom pattern, which can lead the price even higher to these next resistances. Okay, I don't trade this pair so much, so I will not stick to it so much. Let's move to the USD CHF. As you can see, we broke this important trend line right here, and as I have told you, the price rallied to the upside to the previous resistance level. Now from here we are close to the support level, so we can see another push to the upside, or of course we can create some even lower low. Okay, this is all for this pair. Just a quick markup on US30. We can see another wedge pattern, which if breaks below, we can see a push to the downside to this support level right here. Let's go to the 4-hour and the daily chart. And also what you can see is that we are very close to these ultimate heights on our chart, so it's also very possible to continue and chase these previous ultimate heights. And what usually price love to do with these indexes is creating new highs over and over again. If you can see in the past, the price always loved to create new higher highs. Even after the ultimate heights back here, the price is correcting for some times, then again reach the same zone, then again corrections, but after some times again the same zone correction, it loves to make a new high looking back here, then another retest, then another new high. And this is how the stock indexes do. They're so pumped up by the investors that they always kind of grow. Of course we can see some massive push back to the downside, which is huge losses. You see, for some days the price just ruined gains for weeks and for months. Okay guys, this is all for today's analysis. Let's check in this last pair. This is the AUD New Zealand chart, which have broken above the resistance, creating this beautiful W pattern or some sort of head and shoulders pattern. Let's move to the 4 hour so we can analyze better. So we have right now a retest of the neckline of this W pattern or this head and shoulders pattern. So it's a very good place to look for a buy signal somewhere here. So if you see some beautiful engulfing or some very good pin bar, hammer or shooting star signal, we can see another push to the upside, probably to these highs over here or to the previous resistance. And this is what I expect. Not so much a push to the downside again, because we have broken a serious trending channel here. Of course we can see some retest of the channel. This happens again and again, guys. If we see some retest, we can see it here, and here you can see a nice trend catching these two lows. And from here the price will continue shoot up, or of course we can see some more deeper retest to this support zone and this trend line here, and only from there we to see the real push to the upside. Then we will have this W pattern with a neckline over here. You see guys, we can go even a little bit higher to these previous highs. Okay guys, this is all for today's analysis. I hope you really enjoyed the material and I hope you really found something for yourself in this video, in this analysis. If you're new to the channel, just click the subscribe button. If you are already a member of the Rich Spirit channel, I wish you successful trading week and let's smash this Forex money. Now see you in the next videos and peace.